Hello, this is John from WP Mayor, and today we're reviewing the Slider Revolution plugin for WordPress. Slider Revolution, of course, is a slider plugin, and it's available from codecanyon.net. The price is only $15 for the regular license, and as you can see here, it's been downloaded more than 6,800 times. We've also seen that the average star rating is 4.71 out of 5, which means that it has an excellent rating, and many of its customers are really happy with this plugin. It's barely been out 1 year. In fact, it's less than a year. It's been created in July 2012, and it has received numerous updates throughout the past year. On the Theme Punch website, you can actually play around with the transitions, the rotation, slot amount, and all the other settings of the plugin. So you can quickly check some of the features of this plugin even before you buy it. And as soon as you change some settings here, you'll see the preview change. For example, now we've tried out some bullets, while if I want thumbnails as navigation, you've got them here. You just change setting and it will be automatically updated up here. One other thing I wanted to highlight is the fact that it's fully responsive, so you can change the screen size and the slider will change size accordingly. This of course is very handy on mobile devices. So even on mobile phones, iPads and other tablets, it will display very nicely. That's the responsive feature of Slider Revolution. You can also have a full width slider, so it will scan across from left to right of the whole screen. And you can also, of course, have a fixed width slider where you enter the number of pixels of width you want for the slider. With regards to other previews, let me show you some of the coolest examples of Slider Revolution in action. We've got the cartoon theme from AIT Themes. And this slider here, including the video, is powered by Slider Revolution. So you can see the layering feature here. Layering is actually one of the coolest features of this plugin. It's really easy to create layers. Look at this example, it's very beautiful. And yet another example here. Again, we can have a video and even play it. Can even have images, video, and text on the same slide overlaid. And here's again another example of the layers sliding in. You can change all the options with regards to layers, the way they enter the screen, the way layers overimpose each other. All that is easily changeable, as we'll see in a moment. Alright, so it's now time to take a look at the way Revolution Slider actually works. So I've gone ahead and created a page called Revolution Slider on my default vanilla WordPress install. Here's this page, and here we're gonna be inputting the slider when we've got it ready. So back to the dashboard, we have the Revolution Slider item in the dashboard menu. And of course, the first thing to do is create a new slider. So we need the slider title, and there's a handy example of what this should look like. We need an alias, so that will be slider 1. And we've got the shortcode which we'll need to use in our page. So actually I can go ahead and copy that and paste it within my Revolution Slider page. That's it. So back to our creation of slider. We can choose, and these options are all editable later, but right now you can choose the slider type, whether it's fixed, responsive, or full width. If it's fixed, you can choose, of course, the slider width and height. For now, I'm gonna give a full width slider size. You've got also a number of settings on the right hand side, and the nice thing is that the screen is not cluttered at all. You have all these options and they just drop down depending on what kind of option you want. There's options related to basically every aspect of your slider, so I won't really be going into them, but just know that probably all the options you will need are here. So that's it. We create our slider, and next thing, we've got to insert some slides. So there's the Edit Slides button here. We hit that, and it's time to upload some slides. So New Slide. Here I would actually have preferred if I could upload slides in bulk, but I haven't really found a way to do that. So let's insert maybe 3 slides. And our slider is ready, actually. That's it. So go back to slider settings. That's what we've done earlier, and we've got a finished slider with 3 images, and we can actually go and test that out. So here it is, the slider and its basic behavior. So it will just transition between one image and another. Obviously there are many effects you can apply to the transition, but at the moment I've got it set at random, so as you can see there are random transitions being applied. Back on the admin screen, I would also want to highlight the fact that you can also easily delete and duplicate sliders. Plus you've got a handy shortcode reminder here and a handy preview button, which opens this pop-up where you can see the slider in action. Now with regards to slides, things get interesting when we click the Edit Slide button. And you've got a very nice interface here where you can actually change all the settings pertaining to a particular slide. So you can change the transitions, you can even unpublish it, you can change the number of slots the box divides into, and rotation. These are all transition related settings. And of course the transition duration. There's a delay. So the delay means how long the image is going to be visible before the next slide comes in. And you can also enable a link. Say I wanted to link to the main page on my site. That's all I need to do. And you can choose, of course, where to open this new link. And yeah, that's basically it. We can also enable full width video. In that case, you can use your YouTube video or even Vimeo. Slight spelling mistake here, but works fine. And you can also check this box if you want the video to start playing automatically. You can also choose a thumbnail, which will apply if you've got the thumbnail view right here instead of buttons, as we've seen earlier in one of the demos. And that's basically it for slider settings. Now the interesting feature here is that Slider Revolution is very good at creating layers on a slider. So you can add a text layer, an image layer, or a video layer. And we're gonna be taking a look at this right now. The layer interface for creating these overlays is this one. So basically you can create a new layer, which defaults to text. You have the image layer or the video layer. So for creating a layer of text, you just hit that button, and you can of course edit the text, which is editable from down here. Now the nice thing is that you can just drag and drop the item wherever you want, And you can also choose from a set of predefined styles, as we can see right here. In the case that you chose a particular style, but you need some fine tweaking, you can also hit the Edit CSS File button, and you've got the CSS controlling the sample text here. You can, of course, just change the CSS properties for that sample style. For example, here we've got the big white style, so I can easily change the color, say to, I don't know, green, for example. Update, and as you can see, the text has changed. And we've got one layer on the right hand side here. You can choose the animation. So we've got all these animations and also the easing, which is especially useful when you've got images which are really representing objects coming in. You can sort of make it more lifelike. Then you've got the speed of the layer coming in, and you can also link it to one of the slides. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a layer image, which would be clicking that button, and I have stolen this penguin image from one of the example websites. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this here. And we can also, of course, use some styling doesn't apply, of course, in this case, but animation, easing, and speed do apply. And we have the sorting here. So as you can see, you can change the way layers overlap on each other, again by drag and dropping. So let's take a look at what I've created till now. So, you know, it's just fade in at the moment, but let's say I want the penguin sort of to come in from the right. So I choose long from right, for example, and let's say I want an elastic effect. Check it out again, and yeah, you see, it just comes in from the right hand side. Of course, you can tweak things until it flows really nicely, but this is just a demo, so that will do for now. Let's add a video layer, and we've got the option to add either a YouTube video or a Vimeo video. I've gone ahead and grabbed a YouTube video ID. I'm gonna paste it right here. Hit the search button, and you've got the video I selected just here. And I'm gonna hit the add this video button. Again, you can drag and drop, so you can put that wherever you like, and we have this layer sorting again. So that's quite a good example, I guess. So let's check out the preview. Okay, and you can see that I can also play this video. Works fine. So that's it. Those are the layer video samples. Of course, what you see here is just really very basic stuff, but if you check out the examples I've spoken about earlier, I've got a link. There are some really amazing examples that you can follow and even download and import into your project. With that overview of the layers functionality in Revolution Slider, or Slider Revolution, if you prefer it, we've come to the end of this review. And as I've said earlier, it's a very nice plugin to use. You've got no problems whatsoever. It's very user-friendly. And as you can imagine, all these previous purchasers weren't wrong. And, you know, the 5-star rating here says it all. But I can also add my recommendation for this plugin. It's a really well-made plugin and it's highly recommended by WP Mayor.